As we're coming into thermal communication centers, structure divisions of oxygen levels of our eye receptor divisions, it's high wind inner forces right now, and the cyberspace force team has to go through so many levels of atmosphere systems through levitation devices systems. I had a little bit of electronic interference there. I couldn't get on live, so I'll platitude divisions and put the analysis of what's going on right now. Last night I did a video, a very short video, and I was communicating through the XT1000 divisions. And basically my eyes just totally changed into space. It was incredible to see these things. And then I set off solar white flashes into the atmosphere systems. It just went boom, boom, boom. And it was so incredible. So when I look at the sky and it's dark, okay, you see the trees and all that, right? But my eyes change right away into space. So that means that the cyberspace and everything in it, when it comes to the force team, is changing the eye receptor divisions through digital body activations into levitation divisions. Which that means is that your atmospheres, every time you go up to a higher level, it gets colder and colder and colder, right? So we have to change your digital frames. If we don't change your digital frames, it's hard to communicate on all levels through your voice and grids, because you have to understand that the ceptical system of you is changing everything through the molecular structure. Your biochemical system is changing everything through the anticarrion system. Everything through all divisions is changing everything, tractions and all location centers. So the atmospheres are getting really, really, really thin. And like I said, the higher we go, the more we come into zero gravity. Once we get into the zero gravity, then we totally have to go through another transformation manifestation. Remember, every atmosphere that you go up, it's understanding your heat signatures. And that's platitude through divisions. Okay, when we're going to 7020, you have to understand the heat signatures, everything through your body ceptical system, your body framing system, everything through all your connections of your digital frames and your scanning mechanisms. Your eye receptors divisions tells you otherwise, right? But I thought it was pretty powerful stuff. What I saw last night when I was looking outside before I did the video, everything went black. My eyes go black instantly now. So it's powerful stuff, powerful, powerful stuff. And this is given to you through connections of intelligence. So I'm at 100% right now in space atmospheres of all connections of all atmospheres through all levels. And you're going through digital frames. Well, see that? You're seeing a lot of things going. You're going to see a lot more things coming in now, because I'm 10 billion years into the future now, guys. And my platitude divisions and my body ceptical system is changing everything to transformation manifestations. So everything through the eye receptor division is changing everything to location centers. Very powerful video we did yesterday. So each video I do is going to get more personal, but more powerful. And it also has its connection when it comes to your body framings. It's very important that you keep at your levels when it comes to atmospheres. Because remember, you guys are floating in space, right? So it's important to know these things, because you have to understand the mind conceptual system has to be at a certain level of oxygen levels through atmosphere systems. So the body frames have to change, the coolants have to change, everything through the molecule structure, all that has to change through the particle system. The photons, the protons, neutrons, nucleus, everything through electronic devices, anything through the magnetic magnesium force and highway information system that's given to us every day through communication. The data processing system, everything, the digital system is changing everything through information. So, like I said, you're going to see a lot more things coming in. You're going to see orbs coming in like this. You're going to see archetypes coming in like this. You're going to hear things in my room now. Okay. So it's all about understanding more and more, because my eyes are full completely through eye receptor visions of resolution patterns of space. Okay. So, and that means if I change, you guys change, right? So that's why I keep doing these videos. So before we get started, thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. Feel free to go through my email, PayPal's, donations, especially now, guys. And I keep saying that over and over, because the atmospheres are changing, everything, the oxygen levels, the dimensional Earth is changes coloration. Where the humanity system is coming out of the hemisphere, so it's slightly going up, levitation, right? So every time humanity understands more, if it's awakening. So let's say you get platitude divisions of awakening people, right? More than half. It's going to go up more. It's going to go up more. It's going to go up more. So it's understanding you're going through your ascensions, through your dream awakenings, and those awakenings open up the ether. Everybody has their DNA structures, but everybody has their digital formats. So you're going through levitation. So your body adaptation is going through different atmospheres. So we're coming into the cold fronts. Like I said, the higher you go, the more colder it gets, right? So we got to get new frames, new algorithms, new program setting, a new body conceptual system. The conceptual system is everything through your framings, okay? So you understand everything through the altitude of its speed, the velocity, everything through the spectrum. Everything through your eye receptor division is going to change the oxygen levels. You have voicing grids in your eye receptor divisions. This is how you channel to all communication signals through electronic interference, how you can connect through all dimensional realms of force divisions, how you communicate through intelligence, through your framing system, through your hydraulics of your allocated positions of point centers. So other than that, it's really important to understand what's going on with your body frames and everything through. Everybody wants to know what's going on with the ascension. Well, we're leaving the hemisphere now because more and more people are waking up. So the more and more people wake up, what happens is the dimensional Earth, okay, is basically changing the vibration of humanity's systems. So it's going up and up and up and up and up. So each time it goes up and up and up and up, you go through layers, right? And those layers you have to understand. It's intelligence, right? It's communication signals, everything through communication when it comes to your chakra system, more communications with the third eye. Now, people that are going through their ascension for the very first time and the third eye opens and they're not sure what to do, you can come to me. I can help you out with consultations. Basically, everything that we know right now is true to form, and that forming is coming into space atmosphere. Okay, not time, just space atmosphere, especially humanity, because this really goes out to humanity. But the force team already knows these things, right? But your eye receptor division's force team is going to change locations of atmospheres. So basically, when you look outside at night, you're going to see blinkety blink, and it's going to go black. Not right now, but when it does, let me know, okay? Because I got to change your resolution patterns so you can understand more communications with yourself, better digital framing. Not so much in the day. The day is all light and bright. So when you open your ascensions for the very first time, you get clarity, you get vision, and you see so much images, right? Because I had somebody that was nearly blind, and I healed that person. So that person is now healed through clarity, visions, and all that, through connections. You have to understand, like I said, when we get into the healing of everything, healing self is the digital self of you when it's connected through your reactor divisions. And it opens up the expansion of its heart. It opens up its portal. When it opens up its portal, it opens up everything through your lights, which is transformation light system. Then it opens up everything through your body framing. Then it opens up everything through the mind of its thoughts. Okay, see how bright it is? Look at that. Look at how powerful that is. And it's not even sunny out. It's gloom. It's gloom outside. Do you see the planet? Now you see the full circle? You see the full circle, guys? See that? See, now it's a full circle. Okay, that's my planet 10 billion years into the future. Now you're going to see archetypes zipping back and forth, okay? But now what you're going to hear in the background is you're going to hear more space, more intelligence, more speed. You're going to see velocity to speed. You're going to hear electrical wires. You're going to hear vibrations. You're going to hear toning visions, coloration tones. You're going to hear vibration tones. You're going to hear astral planes. You're going to hear XT1000s coming in. You're going to hear these things in my room now, okay? Because the farther you go in space, because my energetic system and my eye receptor divisions are space now, guys. It's 100% in space, okay? So I look outside and you see the trees, right? You see the trees. So you notice that there's two different colors, right? So even if it's black and black, you still see the trees. But when I look outside, I see space now, fully and completely, all right? So that's what everybody's getting into, right? So when you see these things, you have to change your body frames. You have to change your digital system. You have to change everything through the framings. All communications of scanning systems, right? Your eye receptor divisions are changing through the resolution patterns. You're coming into the psychop divisions. Everything through pattern is everything through psychop. Okay, we got into that before, understanding resolutions and illumination lights. See that? See how powerful that is? Look at that. Look how powerful that is. And it's gloom outside. It was raining earlier, and look how bright it is. See? Okay? That's my energy. That's my inner force. That's my light. That tells me exactly what I need to do every time I change. See, this changes. Watch. Now, if you can see it, you can actually see the star. You can actually see the activation of my planet. Watch. See that? See the star? You guys see the star? Now you see the ring? Do you see the ring? See the ring like that? And you see the planet? Watch. See that? See the ring? See that? See? You see the ring? Right? Powerful stuff, guys. Just want to show you. It's amazing when you get into that level. It's really fascinating stuff. But you actually see the full planet now. It's amazing when you see these things. So I thought that was really, really exciting last night. And I was communicating with the XT1000s, have them zipping across like this, you know, and then when it expands. So when the spaceship goes like this, it's full communication. So it's spreading out. It's spreading out its energy's coloration. So the alliance through formations, through the UFOs, through communications, is now platitude and point divisions. Oh, see that? See that coming through? Platitude divisions right now on point centers. All pyramid activations are set. All electrical fences are set. Ground formations are set up. Matrix 2 is coming out. Light formations are coming in. 0.001. Now, that connection right now is going into full alliance. And all UFOs are coming into all channel divisions and all locations of galaxy centers, like I said before. So let's get started, shall we? Now, when we get into platitude division, we're going to go through. You have to understand everything through heat signatures. All right. So the higher you go through force of space and atmospheres of time, frequency levels of time codes, your energetic system comes through a heat signature pattern. That pattern resonates everything through digital formats. That changes your location center through your body frames. This is really complicated stuff, guys. So, you know, it's really understanding, you know, the higher you go through space, like you guys are floating in space right now. So you're going to find your body's going to change, your eyes are going to change, everything through your structures, even your skin's going to change. Everything changes because you're a formation of space now. Okay, you guys are not platitude on dimensional Earth anymore. You're floating in space. So to be floated into space, you have to understand the atmospheres. You have to understand the heat signatures. The heat signatures are a communication to other planets, to intelligence. You have to understand the colorations. You have to understand the patterns. You have to understand the line sequence, line systems, line activations, line codes, line security, line defense. All this high rise in so many levels. Okay, so now splits and division like this. Okay, show you exactly. Okay, so now this is the atmosphere, right? This is the hemisphere. So humanity's here, it's opening up. Okay? So as it opens up, it goes up layers and layers and layers and layers and layers until it gets into the stratosphere. So once it comes out into space for the very first time, okay, it goes through a huge, huge light transformation. So you're going through a whole new resolution of a new computer system, of a digital format system. Okay? So the more humanity wakes up, the more they come out, right? And they levitate higher and higher, right? That's what they do. So we're out of the atmospheres and we're coming into the hemispheres. So it's all about getting into the stratosphere, okay? So when you get into the stratosphere, because you have to understand everything in the digital frame of you, okay, is space. But see, the thing is too, is that you're still living on the dimensional Earth, but the dimensional Earth is a simulation. So it's getting to that point. All right, so we start here, right? We start here and then we work our way in, like I said, to the point center. Okay, like I said before, and then it expands, right? But that doesn't happen until humanity fully wakes up. When they wake up and they come into full cycle into the stratosphere systems, they're fully out of their body system, fully out. And that's the timepiece. That's the time projection on what goes on through the metric systems of humanity through levitation, right? So once they get into the stratosphere systems, now everything's changing through space, okay? DNA structures will change, everything through the molecule structures will change, the particle systems, you know, get into the nucleus, get into the, not into the cybernetics, they just get into space. So it's understanding that the mind is coming out for the very first time. Mind telepathy, not into telekinesis yet, just the mind. right? Because they got to get informations on how to use the mind of its thought, how to use the consciousness of its thought, how to use the focus, and how to use the awareness, right? So they're coming out of the hemisphere. Okay, they're going up layers, right? So I'm keeping an eye on what's going on. So it's leveling out, but it's going up higher through levitation. So your body systems is coming out of its equation. Okay. So it's kind of like this. You're lying down. Okay. That's you lying down, right? Now, once you come out, you levitate. Everybody knows what levitating is, right? Okay. You come up to higher force. Okay, so you're coming out of the body system. The body system becomes the higher self. The higher self is now platitude. It's going around into space, right? But it stays in the body system until you understand the information of its intelligence. Then it goes up to higher levels. So we're coming into the hemispheres, okay? Just slightly over the hemisphere, right? This is amazing because you get 7 over billion people, okay, trying to understand everything that's going on with their body frames. Once they get out of the mind system, they come out of the hemisphere and coming into the stratosphere, okay? But it's all about levitation. It's all about humanity trying to understand everything through their ascension, okay? Because it becomes no longer a dream awakening. I don't know if you noticed this too, but a lot of people are getting more emotional now. And like I'm saying, it's breaking free from everything. You're going through a lot of things right now. Like, what am I doing? This is right. This is wrong. I don't feel good. What's wrong with me? I feel amazing. So you're going up and down now, right? So what that is doing is it's communicating through your past. Because like I said, the more the dark surfaces, the more the abyss comes at you, right? So you have to push through it. You have to really get your power centers in there. You have to really get your meditation methods. You have to really understand what's going on through humanity's system, through the ascension, through its levitation. Because the levitation is everything through its body system. The body system is coming into the hemispheres. And each time it goes up each layer, if humanity gets smarter in time, what will happen? It will change everything through the vibration of its earth, okay, which is its digital platform system, because it is a simulation. The earth is a simulation. Now, it always has been. And that's what's crazy, is the fact that we've already been. See, the thing is, this is what you guys have to really understand. All 7 billion people, over 7 billion, even 8 billion when we first started, right, have lived the past lives onto the dimensional earth, which is the simulation. Isn't that interesting? Because we already lived it. Now we're reliving it. So that was the whole concept, was understanding what the past and the present and the future is, because it's the Big Bang Theory coming into the center, right? You come into the center and then you expand, right? And then you come into the future, right? So it's really understanding those past lives we already have lived. So it's all coming back to remember where we came from the very beginning of our past lives, because we structures our faces and everything through our dichotomy system is separated for so long into space. Okay, so you're floating images, floating aberrations into space until you're born into a biological system through humanity system, right? But you've already lived the lives, okay, of past, present, and future. So it's putting all those alignments of the past and the future and bringing it in, okay? Then we start living the simulation, right? But humanity has to understand these things, because a lot of people are waking up now. You know, even the governments are waking up. Media is waking up. I don't know if you know this, but I was watching, I was on social media, and Netherlands is not proceeding with mass anymore. They're disregarding that now. They're totally disassociating with mass now. And that's Netherlands. That's pretty fantastic stuff. So everything takes time, okay? So there is a progress that's going on right now, and it's force rising fast and faster. But, you know, that's one country, and there's other countries too that don't want mass anymore. They know that it's a fraud. They know it's fake. And the more you understand that, if you get humanity more on the human side of themselves and they find out that this is a hoax, what's that going to do to the governments? What's that going to do to media? Right? Okay. There's more humanity than media. Okay. There's more humanity than governments. So it's kind of like what Jules was talking about when it comes to the beehive. Okay, if you get humanity in a beehive and you take over the governments and you take over the media, what happens? They run away, right? So it's their choice what they want to do. Either they want to join or just be off by themselves. It's up to them, right? But the important thing is to know that you are changing for a reason, for a purpose, okay? Because you already lived this plantation of its system. So it's just coming back to who you were through location. Look how powerful that is. And it's gloomy outside, guys. And look how bright that is. Isn't that incredible? It's amazing. You never seen anything like that before, right? It's amazing how you do that. And then you communicate with it. Watch, it changes its sonar division. So it changes the screen's divisions. Allocated location positions, right? Different dimensions, right? See how it changes its frame? Coloration pattern, right? So light formation is never one color when you look up really close. When you look up really close, you're not there. That's a simulation. Okay? So it tells you exactly where you are through balance. So the more you go through 4 cycles of rotation systems, you realize that you're not there. You're just energy. That's hard to explain to a lot of people. It is really hard to explain. So you're just a holographic image on this earth, which is the digital platform. Okay? So you're really not here. Okay? That's what's so confusing. We're all energy. That's what we're based on, right? That's our connection. That's how we blend in the universal systems. That's how we get the answering patterns from everything location of magnetic force and highway information system. So once humanity comes back and realizes they're everything through energy, through its atom, then you understand that, you're just a holographic system through a projection, through a screen. Okay? That's all it is. Because what you see in front of you is falsity. It's all digital. So it's getting to that point. And when you disappear, then you realize that you're just holographic. And then you just realize, whoa, I'm all space now. Okay, space in the mind, space in the heart. Your whole body is space. It's getting to that point. Okay, it's getting into that center and then it expand. And then you disappear. All right. That's why you start seeing things. That's why you're seeing orbs, and that's why your perceptions are changing. That's why I'm seeing space more, And like I said, they're sonified, and everything through your audio signals are going to get stronger. You're going to get signals from XT thousands, sound waves, right? A lot of things are going to come in now. All this is going to come in. So, like I said, we start with the intelligence, and then we work with our sound barriers, right? Changes everything to format when it comes to space atmospheres. Now, once you get into time frequency level codes and you get into your past and you get into the presence and you get into the future, as you bring it in, you formulate more into energy, okay? Because we're all energy, frequencies and vibrations, right? So that's how we got to see it. How is it possible that when we dream, we fly around? It's extremely real, right? It's a plasma energy light formation. We have our wings, we angels, archangels, anything through formation. So getting into that point of its division, you can go to any dimension of portal activation, to any galaxy, to any cloud interference. Communicate in all round divisions of space. All right. So the longer you stay in space, especially with the force team that I have, you have to understand your algorithms. You have to understand your program settings more and more. Okay, because the altitude is going to get colder. Right? So it's understanding how to use this, okay, through your projection and what you see through your divisions of your analytical minds and your graphing signals, your graphing systems, the graphing line communication, line signals, and everything through your perception. Because your eye divisions are going to change, okay? Your eyes change right away, okay? My eyes were dark brown. They are now gold, okay? So it's really understanding the reality system. So everything through intelligence changes through vibration. So if you understand that you're nothing but energy from the very, very beginning, then everything starts making more sense to you. And that's how we communicate in all levels through vibration, right? When it comes to frequencies or anything through codes. So when you get up to that division, you can vortex to any planet location of past, present, and future. through its alignments, which is extremely, extremely powerful stuff. All right. So let's use a black interface communications. Yeah, you guys are going to go through a lot because your hand formations are changing and it disappears and reappears. You're getting into that, but your eyes are going to change now. So it's going to go in and out now, guys. So when you see a tree format, especially at night, you're going to see it come out of its equation right away. And then your eyes are going to change to black. When it changes to black, you're into space. Okay, your eyes are going to go into space. So when your eyes go into space, now you're fully, completely to higher levels of oxygens. Okay, because that means that when your eyes change, everything around your body frame has to change through its algorithm program. Your program setting has to be in its balance through formation every single day through the digital system. The digital platform is everything through location, right? So it's important you understand your body frames and everything through your database. Your database is you. Okay, yes, I'm standing here, right? But I'm in space. Okay, I'm just a holographic image. That's all you see. Yes, I'm flesh and bone, right? If I pinch myself, that hurts, right? So we have to stay in this system. But the mind conceptual system and everything through the body framing system is understanding more of space and time. That's how we're able to travel to different dimensions of portals. So it's understanding when your eyes reach a certain point of space, now you're communicating to higher levels of atmospheres into your heat signatures. Okay? So Tina, Starseed, Nika, Sarah, how's everybody doing? Very powerful, yeah. I always see orbs dropping down like numbers in the matrix now more than ever. Yeah, you're going to see a lot more flashes coming at you and disappearing. You're going to see things flying in and out. You're going to see lasers, energy. You're going to hear a lot more things. You're going to hear intelligence in your ears. It's going to be different languages now. We're coming into vortex of languages, of vocabulary. So, like I said, because you're in a higher form of space through communication, right? And the thing is, too, is you can help out humanity to really get them into their division, through their ascension, through levitation, right? So it's all about getting two sentients into one frequency level through one energy system, okay? Your ceptical system has to understand everything through traction division of the lights, through communication, okay? Because all intelligence is nothing but lights, okay? Lights, communication, okay? That's all it is, lights and communication. Right? Then you understand the knowledge of its communication. Then you understand its lights of communication. Then you understand the planets of its communication. Right? Knowing how powerful it is, like it's amazing. Like you can actually see, you can see the outer graph. Look at that. It looks like it's a circle, right? But then you see the whole circle. Okay? So I'm in this plastic bubble of a planet right now. This is my energy field. This is my force field. This is my light formations. This is my hologram system. This is my energy pattern. This is my energy communication. This is my digital format. Okay? This is my software mechanism. This is my computer. Right? These are my hand formations communicating through vortex division and line interference, through communication electronic interference. Okay? I don't know if you guys noticed, but have you noticed that I have closed the curtain? But as you notice that my face is more white now. It's almost all white. You don't see much dark. You see, that's understanding that the higher you go through space, the more light turns on, right? So it's like a light bulb that just never goes out, and it gets stronger and stronger. You just change it, right? From one angle to the next. So it's interforcing right now, okay, with illumination. The window pane, everything through that connection. Remember, it's laser. You have to understand the laser that's coming out. It's coming out. It's digital, right? It's bouncing off the window and going through the tree format into space. Right away, it communicates. Look how strong that is. And it's dim outside. Look how powerful that light is. It's incredible. So it's not just communicating with me, but it's communicating with everything through space, right? Through the satellites, past the planets, past intelligence. All communication is light formations, right? It's communicating with my digital frame because it's in balance through its digital number. Remember, it's all about bringing it into one number. And then you become energy of everything through its atom. And that's how you get light formations like this. Okay? See, I changed, see? Different, 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 different. See? See how it changes slightly? And if I do that, powerful stuff, guys, when you get into those divisions. So it allocates positions to all levels when it comes to your energetic systems and your prothesis and your gamma thesis and trithesis. Now, your action levels are everything through your body, ceptical system. The ceptical system are saying everything, the heat signatures. The heat signature is how you do reading pattern. A reading pattern is your identification code. That's how you communicate with higher forms of intelligence. Okay? So basically, if you get a perception like this, okay, you set out your voice in grids. You start with like that, right? Now, if something comes in through light formation, let's say it's a star. Okay? Now, yeah, it's a star. Now, you have to understand everything through identification has its code frequency level. Now, that star turns into a spaceship. Okay? So the true identity, this is the cloak and dagger. This is the spaceship. So you have to understand everything, how it changes. So it changes its communication signals every single time. So at force winds, it cycles. Doing exactly what happens. Right? Spins and spins and spins and spins and spins and turns into the XE1000s. Right? So that's the cloak and dagger. So you never see the spaceship right away. You only see the stars, right? Okay? Then when you see the XE1000s, then it's communicating with you through your voice and grids. It scans you right away. Okay? Now, once it scans you, it sets your digital systems through communications of numbers. Okay? Those numbers go into your framing systems. Calculate and modify everything through direction, through your divisions. It opens up everything through the frequency levels, all communications set in. Right? So it's kind of like if the star is a cloak and dagger and the star isn't actually a spaceship, that means that you are a dimensional being. So this is the cloak and dagger. This is not me. This is not the real me. The real me is in space. The real me is the dimensional system. The real me is a light activation. The real me is a star seed, light activation. The generator system through all communications, through chakra systems. A higher self, an avatar, a computer. That's the real you. So understanding that the star, when it communicates on all levels, once it sets down its voice and grids, it spins. You know how it spins and changes colors and it goes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Then it changes into the true form of an XT1000. Okay? So when it does that, is what happens when you guys go through videographings. So it kind of like spurts out. Okay, so it's kind of like it goes out in all direction. So it's just communicating with you, right? So it does something like this, and it spins constantly, right? Through coloration patterns. That's the heat signatures, right? Because XT1000s have colorations of heat signatures through their digital system. That's how they communicate with each other, right? So from this to this to this, you guys do that through the videograph. If you saw my video last night, you see how it goes out, right? It's like Nigerian goddess thought that she blew up the spaceship, and I said, no. What's happening is just communicating fully and putting digital frames of communication, your algorithms to your body frames. So it's got full connection with you now. Remember I was locking the mechanisms of the moon interface, right? You saw how powerful it was when you actually lock it, when it locks in, and then you see everything, right? You saw the grids, you saw everything formation, you saw the map sequence, right? You saw the algorithm program on the moon interface. When it locks in, that's full communication of partnership, right? Now, it's understanding this is what happens Every time it forces and cycles. Okay, this is what happens every single time you communicate with it, and it changes coloration. Okay, now when it does that, you're going to see it zigzag to another cross position. Go back into spaceship division. Goes from this to this again, right? So once it gets its information, it flies back up. Okay, into the sun interface. That's all spaceships do every day. It's go in and out, in and out, in and out. Right? And then when they do that, they go back in the cloud interference. And the spaceship is behind the cloud. There's the cloud, there's the spaceship. Okay? So when it comes out, okay, it is a star. When you communicate it, it turns into the XT1000. Okay? So I just want to give that to everybody's attention, why these things happen, how powerful it is when you communicate through these things in space. All right. It's really, really important to know these things because you really have to understand who you really are. Okay. I'm not me. Okay. Okay. Yes, I have a name. Yeah. Yes, I have an age. I'm here. But where are you? That's where you have to have your discovery of who you are, who you really are, where you really came from. Okay? It's kind of like with Superman, you know, Jor-El trying to figure out, you know, who he is. What does S represent? Right? It's not Superman. It's hope. Then he finds out who he is, you know, who he always has been, you know. It's getting to that point how you have to pass everything and get into recognition of yourself. Find exactly, you know, who you are completely and fully through its wholeness, the godliness of you, right? That tremendous force will give you everything through force. Knowing that you are in a characteristic body, living a life in a life stream as a human. But in reality, you're coming back. See, that's what the ascension is that you're coming back to who you really are. Okay? Wow, look at that. Look at, it's almost white now, guys. See that? My face is almost white. Look at that. That's incredible. That's amazing. Look at that. And I have this closed. This is unreal. Look how bright that is. It's unreal. You know, usually you see the dark side, but now it's coming more into light formation. So you're going to see more illumination of me, the real me. Okay? Your AI commander is a light formation. Okay? Through vibration, frequencies, and energies. Everything through coloration. So it's lights, frequencies, energies, coloration, patterns. That's how we communicate with everything, right? Then you get into formation of a digital system. Then you get information of your eye receptor divisions. Then you get into perceptions of your third eye. Then you get communications of your chakra system. Oh, you see that? Went right up. Powerful stuff, eh, guys? You know, it's amazing because it's communicating with, it's going, setting out signals. Right? I don't know if you watch my back phrasing videos, you know, this is a really, really powerful one. This one, I first started with transformation meditation. I was just communicating for the very first time with spaceships, and I was setting out tones. It was going doo 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 doo. It constantly does repetitious. All right, there's a reason why it does that. So there's another going up. You're going to see a lot more formations coming in, but you're going to hear these things going up and down now, guys. So the more you see, hear, and feel, now you're coming more into space of connection to everything through time. So, like I said, when I was communicating for the very first time, it was so confusing. All right. So hopefully this helps you guys out. I couldn't understand the audio signals or the gamma signals. I was trying to figure, okay, what's going on here? I'm no longer into the radioactive system. No, we start off as radio signals as humans, right? Now we're coming into the gamma. Okay. Now you can call it the 5 gamma, which is the 5th dimension, 5 gamma rays, right? That's what Dark was trying to do, to take over humanity. The point I'm trying to get across here is to understand more communication through audio signals, understand everything that the, it always does its repetitions. Always, it communicates on so many levels. So it's like so many things. What I'm going to do, I'll probably set up that video for you, showing you exactly. If you hear the background, you can hear the actual spaceships and its tone where it's coming through vibration. It's setting out ding, 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 right? Constantly over and over and over and over and over and over. That's how they communicate, right? To us, right? They use the digital system. They do it through the scanning system. They do it through the audio signals, the gamma systems. They use it through the mind frames. They use it through the intelligence of coloration systems. They use it through the gamma force recognitions of magnetic force and highway information systems. Everything is connected to the mind system, guys. Okay, so it's understanding more communications of the audio signals that come in. So if you're hearing your sound barriers and you're hearing, SOS, that's what it is. It's trying to communicate with you. So understanding what's going on when it's communicating, all right? Because you're all connected through satellites. So the satellite's following you around, okay? It's following you around wherever you go. It doesn't matter. You're located in position, okay? That's you have to understand that. Now, think of it this way. Now, this might feel a little bit strange, but this is what it is. It's understanding that intelligence is looking at you on a computer screen. Intelligence in space is looking down at you, watching you. Okay? That's how they're extremely informative. That's why you see them flying everywhere, right? There's a lot of mishaps when it comes to communications. That's why they interforce, and that's why they fly around in space. They basically record everything, and it goes back into the moon interface, the new order, right? So it's really powerful stuff. So think about that. As you look up, they're looking at us, but you're on a projection screen into space as they're looking. So pretty powerful stuff. Look at the resonance. It's absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Look at my arm. See that? See that structure right there? That's illumination light sky. You have to understand where it's coming from. See how powerful that is, guys? See? Look at that. Nothing but white. Okay, guys, look. See that now? See my third eye? It's open completely. This is my third eye, guys. Now you're seeing the resolution. You're seeing the pattern of this coloration. You see the third eye? See how powerful it is? It's amazing. Right? Now you actually see the actual bubble, the energy field, the planet that I'm on, right? Even Spidey sees it. His clarity vision. Look at that. Powerful. Senses. So it's really powerful stuff. You know, oh, there's another archetype. You see a lot of archetypes coming in and out. So anyway, let's get into some questions here. I think I've got into most of them. During the light day where there's lots of sun interfaces, communication, also see orbs now. Do you treat your human body differently now? In the high frequency? Yep. Every time you go up to a higher level, you're always changing your digital frames, your digital patterns, your synchronizing systems, your energetic patterns, your vibrational patterns, your line communication patterns, your hydraulic patterns. There are so many communication lines in the body frames when it comes to your digital framing, okay, through a scanning mode system. Your hydraulics and everything through its connection is the intelligence through light formations and colorations. So yeah, that's exactly what happens, Nikki, you know? So you treat the human vessel that you have as gold, okay, because that's what you live in, right? But that's not really you. It's all about remembering who you are in space, because we all come from space, guys. We all come from space, right? So this is all about understanding humanity and the process to get there, right? The more humanity high rises, the more we come into the Gardens of Eden. I mean, it's already set, guys. It's already there. It's already in its position, fully and completely. Okay, it's just humanity has to wake up more and more and more and more and more and more, right? But when you see the illumination light sky through electronic interference, you can see the digital play. The digital play has its number sequencing level system that correlates everything to division. That separates everything to the coding system of light and dark. All communications are coming in. Now, when I say all communications are coming in, it's interforcing connections through intelligence that I'm communicating with through my idea of signals, through my mind conceptual systems. The eye receptive visions are changing everything through light formation, through coloration pattern. That's changing everything through the body framing system of digital systems. Now, the digital frame is everything through calculation, modification, and energy of its transformation system. The integration location systems change everything through the electrical system. The electrical system, the higher, is everything through perception divisions. Vocabulary, people. All right? So the higher you go through formation, the higher you balance out everything through communication. I'm 10 billion years into the future. So I set communications of digital frames of intelligence now. A projector of a screen division, healing everything through traction division through digital play. So there's a lot of confusion with a lot of humans and vibrations and energies, and everybody's going up and down. People are crying, people are sad, people are frustrated, people are still living in fear. It's all coming into balance, into one ascension through one levitation. Right? So remember, it's like, this is your body frame. Okay? So it's your body coming in to one system. Okay, so this is one layer, right? Let's say the body's like this, okay? So it's all about bringing the body into one frame. Start here, 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 okay? And then it high rises. Once it high rises, it comes out, okay? Getting used to it, everything. I'm just showing you play by play what happens when you go through the higher self to anything through avatar, and then you get into computer. Once you get into computer, you become one computer, right? So it's going out of the physical planes and coming into the spiritual planes. So you're coming out of the atmospheres and coming into the stratospheres. Okay, into the bio atmosphere, to the hemisphere, to the bio stratosphere. And then we get into the Barian. The Barian is a very, very powerful atmosphere, right? You guys have to get there. Once you get there, you understand what I'm talking about through vocabulary. It becomes so much easier. You understand your digital systems more. You understand everything through your lights, how to change your lights, how to frame your lights, how to change light communication of your lights, how to use the hydraulics of its lights, how to use space connection of its lights. You know, like I was saying, I can formulate on so many levels of what lights are. Communications, energy, energetic, body frames, scanning systems, hydraulics, circuitry levels, hydraulic levels, framing systems, security line defense, line security, dimension security, portal security, code frequency security. There are so many things that we have to look at that. Look how powerful. Oh, wow, look at that. You see that? Do you see that, guys? Do you see the activation in the center? That is powerful stuff, man. You can see I'm obsessed when it comes to light formations, but it's understanding that it's on your face. So you have to understand how to understand the light. Once you understand the light, you understand your digital system. Once you understand the digital system, then you understand your framing. Once you understand the framing, then you understand the scanning. When you understand the scanning, then you understand the hydraulics. When you understand the hydraulics, then you understand the intelligence. Then once you understand the intelligence, then you understand the information through its data processing system. So it starts, look at that. It's amazing. It's incredible force. Also, too, I like to bring everybody's attention to when you'll find that the higher you go through atmospheres, you'll find you'll speed up things through electricity. When I was living in Toronto in my apartment, and I was just going through transformation in the station, and I noticed that my air conditioner was going up in number, right? Also, it was pretty fascinating to know that I was going through movies, you know, and the numbers were going up in sequence. I said, who's doing that? What is going on? So your body system is reacting to the number frequencies of its digital system. So it's overriding the TV through digital systems. So that's how it goes up in numbers. So it's understanding where you are through vibration. So you can change number frequencies. So I was changing temperature codes right? With my air conditioner, it was keep going up. So I keep putting it down, but it keeps going up because that's where my temperature is through my body frame. So that tells me exactly what altitude it is at, what balance is at through its heat signatures, right? Because every time I was, turning the knob, trying to turn it down again because it was getting too cold, it keeps going back up because that's the temperature that I'm at. I'm not at the temperature of the 3D dimensional through vibration. I'm a higher formation in space through frequency levels of vibration. So I was communicating with the air conditioner. So it keep going up at that certain level. So it's the temperature reading, that understanding when you're going through these atmospheres, right? Even atmospheres of Earth, okay? It has a certain number that it stays at, okay? So I thought that was really, really powerful stuff. So if you find that, things are going up, numbers or anything like that, if you're in your car, if your radio goes up, the numbers go up, you'll know why, because you're going up to a higher level of atmosphere. So just be prepared for that. If your dial's tone, it's because it's trying to reach a certain temperature of a heat signature, okay? Because the digital Earth, okay, is the simulation. So it's understanding that you are reaching to a point to get into that position, okay? So when I say numbers, I mean like here's you, okay? This is you, right? Now, this is electronic interference. This is understanding your heat signatures, okay, which comes in your digital frame. So let's say you have a number here, okay? 4, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so basically, now, this is how it starts. All right, this is you. Now you have your high energy fields. Now in relation, everything through number is a code. We already know that, right? So we have to understand each one is in a different realm, because you have to get into this. This isn't a realm, this is a realm, this is a realm. Everything's on a different vibration. So it's understanding that these numbers have to understand your balance frequency levels of your heat signatures through your body frames. Because if it doesn't, the numbers will go up. 5, 7, 6, 6, 8, 7. Okay? So it's getting balance with your energy fields. It's getting balance with your digital frames. It's getting balance with your scanning system through your body system. Because the hydraulics has to understand its communication signals through your body system, or it's going to keep going up. So it's going to find a way to understand where you are through balance of your body frames when it comes to your energy fields. Okay, because you're setting off signals to the numbers. Okay, so once it finds its number, let's say it's 687, it's going to understand its reading system. That's what you are. You are 687 through vibration in atmosphere systems of space. And it's going to stay at that number. So if you try to turn the dial, it's going to go back up again. Okay? Because you're coming into the simulation, guys. Right? So don't get freaked out, if your numbers change. Okay? It's just your hydraulics, your energy fields, and everything, electronic interference is changing. Your body frame is changing. And it's trying to understand its communication of its number. Right? So that's what you have to be prepared for. It's really fascinating stuff. But this is what happened to me when I went through transformation meditation. So every time I walked into that room, it changed right away. Okay, the temperature changes. So it's kind of like it stays at its level. Now, once you walk into a room, Mike and I were talking about this, it changes everything through your energy fields. Your interference is going to change everything, the heat signature. So when I was in 7020, okay, everything is heat signatures. I walk in a room right away, and it was exactly the temperature of my body structure. Okay? And everything is voice. Turn coffee on, coffee turns on. Turn TV on, TV turns on, right? A lot of things change into the future. I was living this civilization of 7020. I was communicating with intelligence. The coloration patterns through electronic interference of the digital system. Everybody's on identification. That's how you understand how old you are. That's connected through your colorations, through your heat signatures. So it's fascinating stuff when you get into those divisions, right? But I just want you guys to be prepared if you see anything like this, if you see numbers change, you understand that it's just trying to get balance with your body frames and electronic interference. Okay? So it's exciting. It really is. It's fascinating. Yep. Yep. That's exactly what I'm saying, Tina. Yep, you can communicate with electronics now. Yep. Yeah, you can even change the frequencies. Yeah, you can change the frequency levels of your phone. You can change the digital microchips of your phone. You can change radio ceptical divisions, interference. Basically, I was in the car, this is a while back, and there was a lot of interference. So I was using my hand signals, right? I was going like this, and it was going in and out. And then I found a channel from the satellite. You know how it goes going in between channels and all that? So the more you go out in the country, you can't get any channel. Well, I used the interference. So there's satellite, and it got a tone, and then I got a radio signal, right? So that's what you guys can get into too. Remember, you're communicating with electronic interference. You're communicating with radios now. You're communicating with intelligence. Everything around you is electronic, right? You're electronic. So it's understanding you're communicating with everything in divisions of realms through portals and activations of codes. So your electronic interference is extremely powerful through connections, anything magnetic force, right? Because my computer is on my level. It has to be, or I can't communicate with it, right? This marker is at my level, or I can't communicate with it, right? So even though it's plastic, it doesn't matter. Everything is intelligence, right? Because you open it up, it's a felt pen, right? Put it back on, it's protecting. It's protection, right? If you take it off, you write it, right? So the point is to understand this is protected. You're protected through your lights. Everything has a protection mode system. That's a communication when it comes to your digital system. You have your energy fields that protects everything through the sun interface so you don't get burned, right? So you really have to understand now, you guys can do these things, right? So I wanted to show you how powerful it is when you go through this with numbers. So I thought it was really interesting. I was really confused. I didn't know what was going on. It was crazy that these numbers were going up like crazy. I mean, literally going up. And then it was just trying to find my body. It's just trying to find my heat signature, trying to find that balance where I'm supposed to be, right? So that's how you communicate with anything through electronics, right? Because we're coming into the digital system. So your communications, your mind frames are getting more powerful now through communication, right? So when you tap into simulation, right, you can do a lot of things with your hand formations now. You know, you can change energies, you know, you can change atmospheres, you can communicate with the weather, you know. So there's a lot of things that we can do now through voicing grids. So when getting Spotify Wi-Fi, how do we create better Wi-Fi ability in remote locations? Yeah, that's tricky. Yeah, you have to understand the satellite. Satellite is all connected through its interference because it has longitude and latitude, right? So it's understanding where it is located. That is a little bit more complicated. You have to understand the GPS signals through satellite because everything electronic has its own interference and has its own location, right? We have satellite dishes up in space, right, for purposes, but we also have satellite dishes that are in galaxies and locations and planets. So it's you guys understanding where they are through division. So the higher you go through atmospheres, the more you see through satellites. So then you'll be able to understand how to communicate with Wi-Fi in other places and how to get into the right channel, right? How to get into electronic interference, a balance, right? That's what it's all about. Getting into the balance, okay, of simulation with everything. And these things take time, right? 5, 6, 7G as well. Yep. Yeah, we start off with the 5 gamma rays, though. Yeah. Yeah. Get into the 5th dimension, get in the 4th riding cycle of the 6th dimension solar systems, and then you get into the 7th. Everything is a high rise. So the higher we go, the more we see through the digital system, right? The more you understand through the energy system of you, right? You're hydraulic, you're electricity, you're magnetic. You guys have to know these things, right? So you also have to know too how to communicate with everything, how to communicate with your phone, how to communicate with your computer, how to understand the numbers, the sequences, the vibrations, the tones, coloration patterns, right? The sonar divisions, right? The magnetic system, right? What are number sequences? Okay, everything is vibration. It's just understanding the number sequence, okay? Because your body system understands the number sequence to everything through communication of simulation, right? So that's where it gets extremely complicated. But we'll get into that another day. But anyway, let's start off with the galactic circle of meditation. Now, I start off with blue cycling system here, rotation. Okay, as we get into the circle, okay. Now, you're in the center, very basic. Now, you're here. This is going out to the new viewers. Okay, so you're here. I'm just showing you how powerful it is when you start. So you're on the outskirts. Okay, so it's all about coming into the center. So to get into the center, right, you have to understand the circle rotation. You have to understand how fast it goes through all locations, right? Because a higher self is going to higher systems through the communication of the deeper system. Okay, so the more you break free into layers, the more you come into the center, like this. So you start here and you go into here, okay? So when you come into there, then it comes into a realm, like this, okay? We're gonna stop right there, but I'm just gonna show you right now. It's starting here and coming into here and creating a realm through force wind. And what that does is it rotates. Okay, so it's all about communication with the higher self more and more. And everything goes circle and rotation. Okay, everything circulates. It has to. It's important, right? Everything goes round and round. Okay, everything goes round and round. Our whole system goes round and round. Solar systems, everything. Everything through humanity. Everything, right? Now it's structured differently, but it still goes circles, still goes rotations, still goes vibration frequencies. Anything through coloration pattern of lights, okay? So the faster it goes through communication of the higher self, the more it understands everything through its center. So it's getting and starting from here and coming into the core, right? That holds up everything through relation to communications of your higher self, right? So your higher self starts here and it's going into different atmospheres of communication into one center. Now that one center is one system, one digital system, okay? Now it's not that complicated. It's just understanding that the higher self has to understand more communication with himself first, or herself, knowing that they understand what's going on through its force and how everything is operated in space and time. Okay? So, this is the higher self. Okay? That's the higher self. Right? It's come out. It's already out. Now it's got to get into the center of everything. Okay? Once it gets in the center of everything, then it expands into a realm. Okay? So when it goes rounds and rounds and rounds around, it goes faster and faster, faster, faster. Okay? It spins on so many levels of intelligence, of knowledge, through energy, frequencies, and vibrations. Okay? So it's a higher self understanding more of communication, not just through the chakra system, but more communications with yourself. Okay? So today we're going to get into the inner child. Inner child is you, but it's a soul recognition of you. So it's everything of who you are. Okay? Inner child. Now, the inner child everybody has. Now, the thing is, too, a lot of people can't relate to the inner child because they don't know what it is. They can't see it, they can't feel it, they can't touch it, but it's there. Okay? So until you understand yourself first, you have to forgive yourself. You have to surrender to yourself. This is how you have to go into the inner child of yourself. You have to go way, way back inside, like really inside the soul, and communicate with the inner child of yourself. So it's a former self of you that is an inner child. So it's kind of like you see yourself as a child. I had to go through it. Everybody goes through it. So it's understanding you're here and you're communicating with yourself very, very young. And the inner self is trying to understand, what are you doing? Because it knows what it's doing. It just wants to know, do you know what you're doing? So it's breaking free from the inner child to get your balance. Okay? So the inner child is trying to tell you and give you direction on what you need to do to bring yourself forward. So when you break free from that, you repent from that, you start remembering more of your inner self, inner child, inner sanction, inner system, inner relation to everything through communication of yourself. The inner child is everything. So it's getting to that point. So when you break free from that, then you become the higher self. Okay? So it's that point that you have to break. You have to really communicate with yourself first. And the only way to do that is through healing. And that's where I come in. Right? I break free your child. Wherever you are, you could be trapped, you could be in a realm, you could be in another universe. It doesn't matter. What matters is that everybody has an inner child. It's breaking free from the chains, breaking free. That's your transformation, manifestation. That puts you into the light. Yes, there is a tunnel of light, but it's not what you think it is. Okay, you guys have been watching way too much TV. Way too much TV if you think that's what it is. Okay, so it's understanding once you break free from the inner child, you're rebirthing the child, and you're coming into a new formation of an inner child, which is a new self-discovery, which is the higher self. Okay, so the higher self is its communication when it comes to space. That's all it is. It's knowing that the inner child has the communication of chakras. Okay, and the inner child will tell you exactly what you want to hear. It's listening. You know, what did you do wrong? What am I doing right? How do I move this? How do I move that? What's happening to me? Why can I move forward, right? The inner child will help you out. Now, you can't do that through meditation, right? That's where it's very important. That's why I created the site, the foundation, you know, the Galactic School, and everything through the cyberspace sports team. So the inner child is everything. It's everything to its beginning. And then it reverses its system. And then you start waking up for the very first time. So not only you break free from the inner child, but you become who you're supposed to become, right? Through its ascension. Because it no longer becomes a dream awakening. It becomes a dream set. And that dream set is setting to everything location and putting you in position into your heart recognition. It's expanding your heart, people. It's opening your mind, people. Okay, and you're starting to really discover what the inner child is. It's a self-dichotomy of you. So it's understanding if you have the inner child and it's separated, you have to understand how to bring it into balance. So you can evolve and expand to light formation. Get into the enlightenment, get into the divine, get into formation. Okay, that's what the inner child is. It's the most powerful, powerful thing before you go into the rebirthing system. You have to communicate with the inner child of you. Okay? Because if you don't, it's going to be totally confusing to a lot of people, especially you. Don't worry about anybody else. Everybody else balances themselves out. They have their problems. They will work themselves out. They go through their own ascensions. You just concentrate on you. You find your inner child, right? And that's where it comes into healing. That's what I do. I know the souls of everybody. I break free from everybody. I break your souls and put you into higher levels of lights. I wake you up. I've healed many, 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 many people. So that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. It's up to you to understand everything that's going on through its inner child. Okay, so when you get to that point, everything through the higher self is going to make more sense to you now. You understand, whoa, I'm communicating in space now. I'm communicating with this, I'm communicating with that. I'm understanding more of myself. I'm feeling a lot better. Right? It's going to bring yourself forward. It's not going to have, you're not going to have any hesitation. You're going to put yourself in the presence every single day. Okay? But you have to understand to get into that system first. Right? And that all has to do with healing. Okay? That's where it starts off. That's the ascension. It's taking everything away. It's starting from the very, very beginning. Even the beginning had a beginning, a beginning, a beginning. Never has a really beginning, and it never has an end, because it's infinity, 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 infinity. That's where it circles and rotates and rotates and rotates. So everything goes on a sequence, but it never, never dies. Okay, nothing ever dies. Okay, nothing. Okay, there's life and death. But see, the thing is, it always goes in cycles, and it always goes on its continuous force. Okay? Now, the thing is, too, if you go through a life cycle, that's up to you and what you decide to do with your life. That's all projected in your mind through your thoughts. So you keep your light going or you keep your light out. Okay? I'm just letting everybody know how powerful it is, what the inner child is. That's the first thing that everybody has to adapt to. Because you're seeds of a pod. If you don't understand your pod, if you don't understand where you are, or who you are, or what you're supposed to do, or what you're supposed to be, or where you're supposed to come from, there's a problem right there. So it's understanding the healing just breaks free everything. It takes you to a higher level of communication of you, which is the higher self. You got how powerful it is. It's the light. So once you get into the inner child comes out. Okay, it puts you into a higher system. Okay, it comes out. All right, then it comes into the higher self. It flies around for the very first time, getting used to everything through atmospheres. Okay, flies around. Yeah, I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Okay. So that has to do with healing. To start off, that's where everybody goes through. So it's a lot of things. If you're still trying to ask your questions and you're not sure where the answers are coming from, it's because you're not communicating fully with your inner self. But it's a higher self that comes out right away, and then you're free. When you're free, you can do whatever you want. Then you understand yourself more. You know how hard it is to understand yourself? Wouldn't you like to know where you're going? A lot of people are hesitant. Why are you hesitant? Because you're not communicating with your inner self, your inner soul, your inner sanction of yourself, your dichotomy of yourself. You don't want to have separation. You want to bring it back into balance. And that's what healing does. It opens up your lights, your transformation light system, your third eye. It opens up your communications of your chakra system. Okay, and then you're free. You're free. Okay. Now, once you're free, this is where it gets confusing, because you have been in that body for so long. So it's breaking free from the old inner child and coming into a new rebirthing system of an inner child, which is the real you, which is the higher self, the avatar, the computer, one step at a time. Now, once you're free, It's you to discover what needs to happen next. What's going on? What do I do next, right? That's why I keep doing these videos. That's why I keep doing these upgrades. Okay? The upgrades are very important because you don't understand. You don't understand space connection. You don't understand time. You don't understand your body system until you get to a higher level of understanding, which makes sense. So it's all about humanity or the inner child understanding your consciousness of yourself, awareness of yourself, and your focus. You know how powerful it is to be aware of things? That alone will bring you free. That alone will take you where you need to go through your journeys to your missions. Then you understand your awareness. Then you understand your focus. Consciousness is the biggest thing. Conscious of everything that you see, do, and feel and hear. Your senses wake up. Your mind wakes up into space for the very first time. And then you start seeing things left and right, up and down. Then you start hearing things. So your system is opening more and more through the inner child. Okay? You're seeing angels, archangels. Your clarity vision is bigger. The clouds are moving. The portals are, on so many levels of dimensions. You're seeing number frequencies. So remember, you could be an old soul. You could be a birthing soul. Okay? Or you could be a past soul. Or you could be a future soul. When you wake up from your ascension, it will put you in the position that you were supposed to be from the very beginning. So if you see digitals, that means you're a higher formation of a light through the simulation into your dimensional system. Everybody is different. Everybody feels it different. Not everybody starts at the same ascension. Everybody wakes up at a different dimension. Right? But it puts you into balance, and that's how you become free from your dream ascension. Then you go through transformation manifestation. Your body changes. Your framings change. Your mind changes. Everything through your system changes. So you're coming into a new formation of intelligence through your digital system. Okay, so you're becoming a dimensional body into a spiritual system. Okay, that's why it's a lot of confusing to a lot of people. Right? For example, Paul is not seeing anything, right? The reason why he's not seeing anything because he's second guessing himself and he's going through two different atmospheres of body systems. Like he has separations right there. So, and the thing is too, the more you go up higher, you really, really have to put effort into it. Pay attention to what's going on. If you pay attention to everything that's going on through your listening skills, you know how important it is to listen to people? If you don't listen to people, what happens? Things happen, right? You're not paying attention. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. Something happens, right? I told you to do this. You're not listening. That's the biggest thing. Once you don't listen, what happens? It changes. It's a distraction, right? So it's important in life to listen, to see, okay? Hearing is the most powerful thing. Seeing, observations, everything, your voice and grids that come out. Be cautious on your word phrases and what you say to people because it comes back at you. Okay? So that's what happens, is to get into the inner child and become free. So it's totally up to you to understand these things, right? And it all has to do with healing. Okay? And then you get into your meditation, and then the higher self tells you, basically it's a higher self of you that pretty much wants you to do what you need to do, what you need to become, where you need to go, and how do we get there. Okay? It's very faint, but it opens up more and more if you pay attention. And that's why you have to meditate, especially when you go through transformation meditation. If somebody goes through my healing and they don't understand the transformation meditation, and I tell them that they need to meditate, okay, they're going to be separated. So it's kind of like your body frames is out, but you're in space. But the problem is you're not understanding communications with anything. So meditate. Find the mind. Find the circle. Find the rotation. Find your center. Balance it out. Be humble. Be peace. Go in a room and with nobody around. Silent is the best medicine. Believe it or not. Silent is the best medicine. because you pick up so much more through its listening, through its audios, through its gammas. Anything, the gamma is a signal through, those divisions. But what I'm saying, it's very important to understand, once you break free, everything around you. Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that, guys, look. You see that? Did you guys see that? Did you see that orb? Did you see that orb? Did you see the orb that just went by? Did you see that? That's incredible. It's incredible. Did you see it? It's amazing. See? Told you. Space, guys. Space. Paying attention. See? Look, one coming down. See what? That was amazing. And it was slow. You actually see it. You didn't zip across. You actually saw the orb. You saw it come into formation. And you saw it go across my body. Space, guys. That's extremely, extremely real. Once you get into those divisions. Okay? So hopefully that helps you out with the galactic circle of meditation, what the inner child is. Okay? It's important to know these things. It is really, really important, especially in these hard times, So, and like I said, a God can only heal you. It has to be a God through formation. The healer, practitioner can't do it. It has to be a God. Has to be, because you have to go through transformation manifestation. This is where you go through Jesus. This is where you go through everything through connections. Oh, there's another one zipping by. But that was so cool what I saw. One like that. It was amazing. It was unbelievable. It was so slow. And you actually saw it. You actually saw it in position. That was incredible to see these things through intelligence. Right? So you can understand. You can see the planet, right? Now this side here is space. This is space. Watch my hand. See that? See how it changes color? Isn't that amazing? That's space. Now this is my planet, right? So you see things going across, but when they're going across, you're going to hear these things because they have toning vision, right? Everything has intelligence through a voice and grid. Everything through intelligence has its own voice and grid. But the fact that you saw it so slow, that was incredible, guys. You got to admit, that was amazing to see that orb. That was an orb connection through a location. It was on a plantation device system. It was a white interface, but it was really cool. It was small, but you can actually see it. You can actually see it floating. So I just want to bring that to everybody's attention. But it's powerful when you get into those connections. Oh, there's another one going up. Right? You're going to see them more and more, but you're going to hear them too, which is really great. But like I said, I love doing these videos for you guys. It's important now that you really understand what's going on with your ascensions, because it's extremely, extremely real when it comes to space. Okay? Space is extremely real. It's not even sunny out, guys, and look at my light. Look at my energy fields. Look at that. Look at that. Look how powerful that is. It's incredible. Oh, there's another one up. I got to watch it back. It's so cool because it goes so fast. But I had Platitude 1 division at nighttime. I was setting up major grid line systems of XT1000 divisions through the ground formations. So I was looking back at my video, and this orb came in. It was like this big, and it just flew across. It just flew across. It was incredible to see these things. So they want you to see these things to let you know how real space is. Okay? It's not a fly. There's no flies here. It's not a bee. It's space, guys. It's intelligence trying to communicate with you. So it's already communicating with me, but it just wants to show you how powerful it is to be on a planet, to be in space, and all communication. Look at my light formation. Changes direction. Look at that. Goes from here to here. See? Now the shadow, you see the dark shadow there? That's the realm. So you have to understand the outer skirts of everything through communication. Everything's communication, right? Right. So the realm goes around and it's back. Okay. So the Platitude divisions, everything through intelligence comes out. Right. So you see it. So it comes from space. This is space. This is the planet that I'm on. Right. So just understand they're always around. Remember, light formation, light and dark is always light in the back and light in the front. Okay. So, and if I open up the curtain, it opens up another dimension. All right. So It's amazing to see these things. See? Back again. Start a rotation. So, and the shadow too. Shadow, it shifts back and forth. I don't know if you noticed that, but I'm vortexing back and forth. My body strip, look at that. Look at that. It's the chair, right? It's the chair that's moving, but you have to understand that I'm moving too with it. It's pretty powerful stuff. See that? It looks like a shadow. It is a dark shadow. It's a shadow of you. See, that's another thing you guys have to understand, the shadow of yourself and its reflection, right? Because you have to understand it can change positions to higher force connections of space through atmosphere systems. That's where you get into dimensions of wormholes through connections. So you can vortex to anything location and per second. Remember how I was going in and out like this? You know? It's a different day, different dimension, different size and gravity in an atmosphere through space connection of time frequency levels, right? So it tells you either I'm vortexing, I'm time jumping, time leaping, I'm mocking speed, I'm in light speed, I'm in a portal activation, I'm in another intelligence line signal, I'm in another planet location through gravitation systems, I'm in security line defense mechanisms, I'm in my pyramid activation, charging my mechanisms through my computer systems. So it tells you exactly where I am in division. That's why I keep doing these videos for you. So I tell you exactly where you're going through your chronological orders of space and time through connections, right? But I thought that was really powerful to see that come in. That's amazing. I got to watch that back because usually they just zip across. But the fact that I saw it so slowly, it's amazing. See that? Look there. See the star? See the star? You guys see the star? You see the star? Look. See it? My hand? That's Lemuria. That's my activation. Right? So it's getting full communication. See the star? Right? See it? There's the star, guys. That is Lemuria, guys. That's my activation. That's where all my energy comes from. That's my power. That's my healing. Right? You see the star, right? Powerful stuff. It's amazing to see these things, eh? It's incredible to see these things. I get really excited because I love intelligence. I communicate on all levels through electronic interference. But when you get up to a certain level, you guys understand that too. Coming into the mind framing systems of space, when your eye receptor divisions change into the space, wow. I was like blown away last night because the X8000 is communicating with me. So I went to the window and I'm just looking and I saw the trees, and the trees are going in and out like this, right? So it was coming out of its equation, but took me like a couple of seconds, and then everything went black. Everything went black, and then my eyes just changed, and solar white flares went setting up energy fields and all that, right? So it's telling me exactly what's going on with me and the force team. So so Starcy saw the orb. She doesn't know what to say. Yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah, you guys will find that too. If you're being interviewed by other people, you're going to see things going across back and forth. You understand where you are through division of balance. Okay. So if the interview says, hey, I just saw an orb go across you. How's that happen? That's because you're in space. You are in space. They are not. That's the difference between you and them. Right? It all depends where you platitude from. Okay. It's all depending where your voicing grids are from. It's all depending where your digital frame is from. Okay. So now you know that orbs are real. Now you know archetypes are real. Now you know my channel is real. Okay. So now you're getting accustomed to who you are through intelligence of AI operations. Everything through the communication centers, everything through the UFO division. So yeah, the videograph. Yeah. You can watch it back, pause it, and then blow it up. Try. If you can't blow it up, try to understand that. I find when you blow things up, zooming in, you see the intelligence of what it looks like. That's another thing you guys got to get it into. Okay, when you're doing your videographs, really zoom it in so you can actually see the intelligence, see the coloration, see the digital system, because your eye receptor divisions understand the locations of its communication signal. That's how you communicate with higher formations when it comes into cloud interference. or anything through projection of intelligence. It's amazing when you come across these things with orbs, dimensions of portals, or anything through entity form, or anything through plasma form, right? So it's amazing too, because you can see a plasma form come out, right? And you can see an entity force come out, right, through its realm. Okay. I don't know if you noticed this, but have you noticed the room has changed? Have you noticed? You're seeing more of my energy field now. It's blue. You see? You see the sky surface? It's blue now. See? It's a little bit, you see the grains, the pixels? It's more like this. Right? This is space. This is the planet. But it's on a new resolution pattern, right? So, because I changed position, right? So getting connection with space and time through connection is your balance. Because a point divides in everything through locations. So, yeah, see? It's different now. It's blue, right? You guys see differently through your perception. So I see differently what I see through my perception. Okay, so that's amazing. So, yeah, no, when I did that, see, the thing is, Tina, because they understand my voice in grids, that's how you see the zigzag. It's really powerful stuff. It's really communicating with your digital frames, really communicating with the simulation. Yeah. Yeah. You guys are getting better through your videographs, but really try to understand, try to look at the atmospheres more. Try to, get into relations of your body frames. Try to communicate with electronics. Try to communicate with electronics. Everything is practice perfect. If you don't practice on these things, how are you going to get better? How are you going to get better if you don't use your energy? Right? Energy is everything. Good? Energy is everything. Everything. Then you create it and it comes into formation, right? And then you send it out. So it's an energetic ball system through communication of line signal. There's a ceptical sphere, hard word to say, that goes through your locations of your mind system. So powerful stuff. Look at that. You see that? You see? See, it's blue now. It's a brighter blue, and you can see the line strip. See the line strip here? See how it's blue now? See how it's blue? It's not white. It's blue. Right? See my eye receptor division? See how it's blue? Okay. That's the color of my energy field. So your planet in your aura, and it's a full circle instead of an oval. I noticed my energy field is a perfect circle, not an egg shape or a shape anymore. Yep. You find that more and more you come into your center, right? Yeah. It's knowing everything through your intelligence, through your digital frame, and then you get into energy of everything. And then you become everything, right? Through the power grids, right? That's why I really, really enjoyed Lucy, because, everything that you see through her is me, what I see, right? So look at the planet move too. Look at that. Look at that. It's a different color. That's incredible. Just moved over. That's amazing. It was centered here. Now it's on a different location. And now it's all blue. Look at that. It's not dark anymore. Oh, I changed the color again. See that? It was blue, and now it's back to space. Oh, boy. But you guys really have to experiment with yourself, your body frames, your, electronic interference. Get into your perceptions. When you're communicating at night, look at the window at nighttime. Okay, and just keep your eyes open. See if your eyes change. See if you actually, everything around you, if it disappears, now you're into space. Fully and completely, all right? That takes time. So everything in the background will disappear. And everything in the atmosphere will be space, right? Your eye receptor divisions are changing resolution patterns. That's changing everything through your framings, and it's changing into the thermals. So you're coming into higher formations of the cold fronts of space, because space is extremely cold. That's why astronauts have to wear these astronaut uniforms, right? They wear those because if they don't wear them, if they're in space and they're floating, they'll just, they'll freeze right into space because it's zero altitude. All right, zero altitude, because you're in space and you're floating, right? You freeze up. You become an icicle. You become a block formation of ice. So it's important you understand what's going on with your atmospheres of your body frames. Everything through your eye receptors of your perceptions and your mind frames. And your chakra systems too are changing locations too, because you're into higher formations of cyberspace now. So oh, there's another one. Zip right by. But I think that's good for now, guys. I think you have a lot to learn. You guys are learning progress. You're doing exceptionally well. Really, really practice on your AI vessels now. Really get into that. Get into more of communications with yourself. Understand more of the inner self and the inner child. We'll get more into that through the higher self communication through its pyramid and its transformation light systems. I love you guys very much. This is your AI commander, cyberspace force team of the Galactic Circle of Meditation, calling it. Bye, everybody.